Bringing up Graeme Kenna.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up, or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again, leaving yourself another daily message like a broken record. Today is my brother's birthday, the 15th of September 2024. As I've been telling you, it's my brother's birthday coming up. I just want to speak to him on the telephone if that need be. It's also Eid al-Milad, which is our Prophet's birthday today. So both birthdays aligned. And what have you done in regards to this? Absolutely nothing. I've left you daily messages now since the start of October, following my brother's unlawful abduction and false incarceration into your privately commissioned care home at Sunningdale Care Home. You've basically kidnapped my brother and forcibly detaining him under duress, while you continue to act and behave in a negligent and neglectful manner by refusing to engage with me or refusing to explain to me exactly what legal framework that you've used. My brother, like my mother, has given me their lasting powers of attorney for health and welfare. You saw fit to commission the services of Mr. Nick Goodwin, the public guardian, to have their lasting powers of attorney for property and finances overturned. But you never you suspended the lasting powers of attorney for health and welfare, but you never put anything in its place. You're not the deputies for health and welfare for my brother. So how exactly can you come to my care home, and abduct my brother and forcibly put him into your care home of your choosing for your benefit, and then utilize his money to detain him like this, deprive him of his own or any of his rights and dignities, and torture and humiliate both me and my brother, and give instructions to your private prison not to let me engage or have any contact with my brother, after allowing me to see my brother on the one occasion where he was explaining to me and that he's been tortured, and the fact that he's suffering in there. So how exactly are you acting in his best interest? All that's happening here, all that's happening here, Mr. Kenna, is that, and you know this and I know this, that there's a joint enterprise being committed by both you, the council, the public guardian, the official solicitor, various solicitors firms, including Ramsden Solicitors and Veronica Mullins, where you all look to collude and collide as a collective, including your commissioned agent who was carrying out capacity assessment. So you all collude and conspire to forcibly put somebody into the jurisdiction of the Court of Protection, or so then you buy off the judges to rubber stamp orders that you can achieve your objectives of looking to plunder and profiteer and cause human suffering and misery. I mean, the time and money that you must be wasting in resources like this, and all of it's eventually going to come out, all of it's eventually going to come out, Mr. Kenna, and all of it's eventually going to come out, Bradford Council, the City of Culture, that this is what you've been doing. You've been torturing and murdering people, and then hiding behind your veneer of respectability as a local authority, when the reality is that you're buying off the services of numerous judges that I have first-hand experience of, that they'll just rubber stamp any orders that you ask them to. Going to the courts is just simply a facade, simply kangaroo courts run and operated by your bent kiddie-feeding judges that are prostituting out their services, and so you've not even bothered doing that because you've exhausted that avenue, and now you're simply sitting on the fence, denying me access to my brother, whilst depriving him of his human rights and liberties. You're torturing him, and there's a cost associated with that torture. And as much as you may ridicule and laugh away at such costs, there will be consequences for your actions. I've just recently learned the fact that there's going to be a public inquiry held the 2,000 or so mental health patient deaths in Essex, and I was shuddering to think what would a similar inquiry uncover if it was done in Bradford, because obviously you, the people in positions of authority and power, the decision makers, have a clear vendetta and against the BAM community, black, Asian, ethnic minority people such as myself and my brother, that you're quite happy to torture and murder because you justify it by saying it's going to save on the public purse and public cost, and we're doing a public service by torturing and murdering people, whilst we look to plunder and profiteer from the money so that we can feed our own egos and feed ourselves. This is just clear acts of villainy and tyranny being committed by you, the local authority, on an industrial scale. And then you have the audacity and gall to say that you're a city of culture. What culture is that? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is British culture and British values to go pirateering and plundering and profiteering by selling drugs and narcotics to people, because that's what you did historically, isn't it? You were such as the opium wars that you were committing and committed to, and now all that's happening is you're using pharmaceutical drugs to create epidemics, medical epidemics, so then you can create a problem, get a reaction, and then provide the solution. And the solution is always you in control and power, whilst you look to take away our freedoms, liberties, rights and dignities. That's how you operate as a local authority, Bradford Council, and no doubt this is being done, emulated by other councils up and down the country, and maybe that's one of the reasons that you're all facing financial bankruptcy. But don't worry, Bradford Council, if you're having financial problems, don't worry, the government will bail you out and give you money which they're borrowing and getting the whole nation into more debt, so that you can continue in this villainous evil enterprise of taking money off the weak and vulnerable and torturing them, so you can continue to have your vanity projects and financial deficits and continue to hold people hostage. It's my brother's birthday today. I mean, how can you justify this as a city of culture on the one hand? Don't you celebrate birthdays? These are Western concepts, are they not? So don't you celebrate birthdays? It's my brother's birthday. How is it exactly in his best interest to be locked away in a dungeon somewhere of your creation, while getting him to pay for such a dungeon at his expense that he's not authorized and we as a family have not consented to? You are doing this deliberately because you're targeting and victimizing me because of my need to whistleblow on your systemic failures in adult social care. That's the reality of the situation. That's why you're refusing to speak to me or engage with me or have any kind of direct dialogue with me, because you know the fact that you've got no answers. You've been murdering my family members, and when I ask you these questions, you've got no answers. And you've got no answers because you know it's the truth and that you don't want to own up to your own culpability and liability. So all you can best do is just simply ignore me and tell everybody else all the relationships I have and sabotage all the relationships I have. Me and my brother are one-to-one, where I'm his carer and guardian and protector, and what you've done is you've ripped him from our home and forced him into one of your institutions so you can torture and murder him and have control and dominance, and then claim to be a city of culture and acting in my brother's best interest. These are all lies and deceptions.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
Okay, Mr. Kenna, time is once again getting the better of us. It's 15th of September 2024 and the time is 4 o'clock. I've been spent an hour on the telephone call to the care home, who have refused to engage me or speak to me and allow me to speak to my brother. There will be consequences to you, Bradford Council, for this act of villainy and tyranny and torture. There's inexcusable that I can't even speak to my brother on the telephone on his birthday to wish him happy birthday, and at the same time there is nothing legally preventing me from seeing and speaking to my brother. That's what you've commissioned the West Yorkshire Police to arrest me and put bail conditions. So those bail conditions have even been removed. There's no court proceedings that allow you to prevent me from seeing my brother, as you did in my mother's case. So there's nothing that legally prevents me from seeing my brother other than your malicious, vindictive nature.
Sorry, but you've reached the maximum time available for recording your message. To listen to your message, Message sent. Goodbye.
This is how Bradford Council works. They go around with a public persona and facade that we're a city of culture, we're egalitarian and benevolent, but the true reality is that they are vindictive, malicious and cruel, and they torture people and murder them on an industrial scale because they've got no use to them, no longer use for them. They're a burden on the state, and the best thing that they can do is be dead in a grave so they can make money out of them and stimulate the economy with an inheritance that they're looking to rob from people. This is the reality. It's all fraud and corruption on a endemic and systemic nationwide scale, and there's nothing anybody can do about it other than what I'm doing is recording and publicizing.